In a world where trust is the foundation of love, what happens when that trust is shattered? Meet Daniel, a 44-year-old successful restaurateur whose life takes a shocking turn when he discovers that his wife, Amy, had an affair with his cousin, Mark. The revelation not only unravels his marriage but also reveals a hidden daughter he never knew existed. Join us as we explore Daniel's tumultuous journey through betrayal, alienation, and the quest for redemption. Meet Daniel, a 44-year-old man whose life seems to be on the rise. He's the proud owner of a thriving restaurant chain, known for its innovative dishes and warm atmosphere. But behind the scenes, Daniel is a man grappling with the weight of unspoken truths. He once believed he had it all: a loving wife, Amy, and a family that supported him. As he stands in his bustling restaurant, surrounded by laughter and clinking glasses, he reflects on how quickly everything can change. Daniel's story begins with the promise of happiness, but quickly spirals into a tale of betrayal that will leave you questioning the very fabric of loyalty and love. He often recalls the day he first met Amy, a chance encounter at a local cafe that felt like destiny. Their chemistry was instant, igniting a whirlwind romance filled with dreams of a shared future. From their wedding day, where vows were exchanged amidst tears of joy, to the birth of their son, Ethan, Daniel believed they were building a life together that would withstand any storm. However, as he looks around his restaurant, once a symbol of their shared dreams, he feels an unsettling emptiness creeping in. The laughter that fills the air now feels like a distant echo of what once was. The warmth of family gatherings has been replaced by cold silence and unspoken words. Daniel's heart aches with the knowledge that everything he cherished is built on a foundation that is about to crumble. Little does he know that this journey will not only test his resilience but also redefine his understanding of love and trust. The turning point in Daniel's life comes like a thunderclap on a clear day. One evening, while enjoying dinner with friends, he overhears a conversation that shatters his world. A mutual friend casually mentions Amy's affair with Mark, his cousin. The words hit him like a punch to the gut, leaving him breathless and disoriented. How could this happen? The man who had always trusted his family now feels betrayed at the core. The revelation unfolds slowly in his mind. Images of their life together flash before him, tainted by this new knowledge. The laughter they shared now feels hollow, and the love he thought was unwavering crumbles into dust. This moment marks the beginning of a tumultuous journey filled with anger, sorrow, and an overwhelming sense of loss. As he processes this shocking news, memories flood back: late nights when Amy was distant, her unexplained absences that he had attributed to work stress or simple fatigue. Each recollection now feels like a dagger twisting deeper into his heart as he realizes those moments were not innocent but rather signs of betrayal he failed to see. In the days that follow, Daniel's world spirals into chaos. He confronts Amy, demanding answers she can barely provide through her tears and excuses. The pain in her eyes reflects his own turmoil. It's as if they are both trapped in a nightmare from which neither can awaken. As Daniel grapples with feelings of disbelief and anger towards both Amy and Mark, he begins to question everything about their relationship. The love they built together now feels like an elaborate facade hiding painful truths. To understand the depth of Daniel's pain, we must travel back in time to when he first met Amy. Their romance blossomed in their 20s, an enchanting whirlwind filled with shared dreams and laughter. It was a classic love story: two young souls who found each other in a crowded world. Drawn together by mutual interests and an undeniable chemistry, they spent countless evenings exploring the city, sharing secrets over coffee, and dreaming about their future. As they built their lives together, Daniel felt like he was living a fairy tale. Fast forward to their wedding day, an event filled with joy and promise. Surrounded by family and friends, Daniel watched as Amy walked down the aisle, her smile radiant and her eyes sparkling with love. They exchanged vows under a canopy of flowers, pledging to stand by each other through thick and thin. The early years of their marriage were marked by happiness. They welcomed their son, Ethan, into the world, filling their home with laughter and love. Family gatherings were vibrant affairs filled with warmth, and Daniel often thought they had created a perfect little family. However, as the years rolled on, subtle changes crept into their relationship. The late-night conversations that once flowed easily became strained. Amy often seemed distracted or preoccupied. Daniel rationalized her behavior as stress from work or the demands of parenting. He poured himself into his career, hoping to provide for his family while also supporting Amy in her own professional pursuits. Yet beneath the surface, cracks began to form in their seemingly perfect marriage. Looking back now through the lens of betrayal, those moments take on new meaning, each one a piece of a puzzle he never wanted to solve. Daniel recalls the nights when Amy would come home late from work, or when she would receive mysterious phone calls that she quickly dismissed. He remembers feeling a growing sense of unease but chose to ignore it, believing that love was enough to weather any storm. Now, those memories haunt him like ghosts, reminders of a love that was once so vibrant but has now been tainted by betrayal. Just weeks before their anniversary, Daniel receives divorce papers delivered coldly by mail, a stark contrast to the warmth he once felt in their home. As he reads through the documents, disbelief washes over him like icy water. How could Amy do this? How could she choose to end their marriage without even a conversation? The anger bubbles up inside him as he recalls all those moments they shared. The vows they made to each other meant nothing in the face of her betrayal. The day he receives the papers is etched in his memory forever, a day that begins like any other but quickly spirals into chaos. He sits at his kitchen table, staring at the envelope as if it holds the answers to questions he cannot bear to ask. His heart races as he thinks about Ethan. How would he explain this to their son? The thought of shattering Ethan's world adds another layer of anguish to his already heavy heart. When Daniel finally confronts Amy about the divorce papers, emotions explode like fireworks on a dark night. Anger clashes with sorrow as they exchange hurtful words that cut deep. Amy's tears only fuel his rage. How can she cry now when she was the one who betrayed him? The conversation spirals out of control, filled with accusations and defenses that leave both of them feeling more alone than ever before. In the aftermath of this confrontation, Daniel feels lost and adrift. Friends rally around him, offering support and comfort, but nothing can fill the void left by Amy's decision. He becomes increasingly isolated as family members choose sides, many siding with Amy without understanding his pain or perspective. The emotional turmoil weighs heavily on him. Sleepless nights are filled with thoughts of betrayal and questions that have no answers. As days turn into weeks following the divorce announcement, Daniel grapples with feelings of inadequacy and despair. He wonders if he could have done something differently, if there were signs he missed along the way that could have prevented this heart-wrenching outcome. Each passing moment feels like an eternity as he navigates this dark period alone. Even amidst success in his career, an emptiness lingers within him like a shadow he cannot shake. In the aftermath of his divorce, Daniel finds himself adrift in a sea of loneliness and confusion. The life he once knew has been shattered, leaving him to pick up the pieces of his heart and soul. Friends offer sympathy, but they can't truly understand what it feels like to be betrayed by someone you loved so deeply. He becomes increasingly isolated as family members choose sides, many siding with Amy without understanding his pain or perspective. As he navigates this dark period, Daniel turns to work as an escape, a way to channel his anger into something productive. He throws himself into his restaurant chain, working long hours to distract himself from the emotional turmoil that threatens to engulf him. Each plate he serves becomes a small act of defiance against the betrayal that has rocked his world. Yet even amidst success in his career, an emptiness lingers within him like a shadow he cannot shake. The nights are the hardest. Alone in his spacious home, Daniel often finds himself staring at the walls that once echoed with laughter and love. He misses the simple moments, the family dinners, the shared stories, the warmth of Amy's presence beside him. Now, silence fills the rooms, amplifying his sense of loss. He tries to fill the void with friends and late-night outings, but nothing can replace the intimacy he once shared with Amy. As time passes, Daniel begins to realize that healing is not just about moving on, it's about confronting the pain head-on. He starts attending therapy sessions where he learns to express his feelings rather than bottle them up inside. Through these sessions, he discovers that anger is a natural response to betrayal, but that holding on to it will only prolong his suffering. Slowly, he begins to understand that forgiveness, while difficult, might be necessary for his own peace of mind. Despite these challenges, Daniel also finds unexpected moments of joy in his son Ethan's laughter and achievements. He throws himself into being a present father, attending soccer games and helping with homework. Each moment spent with Ethan reminds him of what truly matters and provides a glimmer of hope amid the darkness. Despite the heartache surrounding him, Daniel channels his energy into building his restaurant chain from the ground up, a venture born from passion and resilience. Each dish he creates tells a story. Each restaurant opening feels like a small victory against the backdrop of personal loss. As customers flock to his establishments, praising his culinary skills and welcoming atmosphere, Daniel begins to reclaim parts of himself that felt lost after the divorce. He pours every ounce of creativity into his work, experimenting with new recipes and hosting events that bring people together, something he desperately craves after feeling so isolated for so long. The restaurants become more than just businesses, they transform into community hubs where laughter and connection flourish. Daniel thrives on this energy and finds solace in creating spaces where others can experience joy. Yet even as success flourishes around him, there remains an undercurrent of sadness. Every triumph is tinged with memories of what could have been a family that once stood united, now fractured beyond repair. As he stands in the kitchen during a busy dinner service, he often catches himself daydreaming about sharing these successes with Amy, imagining her pride in their accomplishments together. But reality quickly snaps him back. She is not part of this new chapter in his life. Instead, he learns to celebrate his victories alone or with friends who have supported him through thick and thin. The restaurant becomes a sanctuary where he can escape from the pain while also reminding him of what he has achieved despite everything. Daniel's hard work pays off when one of his restaurants receives a prestigious award for excellence in dining, a moment that feels surreal yet deeply rewarding. As he stands on stage accepting the award amidst applause and cheers, tears fill his eyes, not just for the recognition but for all those who believed in him when he felt lost and alone. In this moment, surrounded by friends and supporters, Daniel realizes that while betrayal has changed him irrevocably, it has also ignited a fire within him, a determination to rise above adversity and create a life filled with purpose. Years pass before Daniel receives an unexpected phone call from family members who had distanced themselves during his divorce, a call that brings both hope and trepidation. The voice on the other end belongs to his sister, Claire, who expresses regret for not being there during his darkest times. She wants to reconnect now that he has found success again, and her sincerity tugs at Daniel's heartstrings. Initially hesitant, Daniel grapples with feelings of resentment towards those who chose silence over support when he needed them most. Memories of isolation flood back. His family's absence during the hardest moments of his life felt like a betrayal in its own right. Yet, curiosity about their motivations compels him to meet them for coffee, a decision that opens old wounds but also offers glimpses of healing potential. As they sit across from each other in a familiar cafe setting, emotions run high. Laughter mingles awkwardly with tension as they navigate years of silence. Claire shares updates about their parents and how they've missed him, while Daniel listens, torn between wanting to reconnect and fearing further disappointment. The conversation shifts to the past, and Daniel can't help but express his hurt over their lack of support during his divorce. He tells them how alone he felt when he needed them the most. To his surprise, Claire listens intently, acknowledging the pain he endured and admitting that they were unsure how to approach him during such a tumultuous time. She explains that they thought siding with Amy would help maintain peace within the family, a decision that now feels misguided. As they talk, Daniel begins to see their perspective, a realization that while their actions may have hurt him deeply, they were also navigating their own complexities. The meeting ends on a hopeful note as they agree to stay in touch more regularly. Daniel leaves the cafe feeling a mix of emotions, relief at having opened up, but also lingering doubts about whether this newfound connection will be genuine or just another fleeting moment of reconciliation. During these reconnections with family members, revelations come tumbling out like confetti at a party gone wrong, each one more shocking than the last. In subsequent gatherings, Daniel learns that not only did his family support Amy throughout her affair, they actively chose to keep it a secret from him out of fear and misplaced loyalty. At a family dinner filled with awkward silences and hesitant laughter, Daniel finally confronts them about what he has learned. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asks, his voice trembling with emotion. "You let me live in ignorance while she was betraying me." The room falls silent as everyone exchanges glances, unsure how to respond. Claire finally breaks the silence, her voice shaky but resolute. "We thought we were protecting you," she admits. "We believed Amy would come back to you once she sorted herself out. We didn't want to add to your pain." Daniel feels anger rising within him. How could they think that keeping such a monumental secret would protect him? It was betrayal wrapped in misguided intentions. As the conversation unfolds, Daniel learns that several family members had known about Amy's affair long before he did. Friends who had been privy to whispered conversations and hushed tones at family gatherings. Each revelation feels like a fresh wound being reopened. It's as if the betrayal extends beyond just Amy and Mark. It encompasses those closest to him who chose silence over honesty. This moment becomes a turning point for Daniel as he grapples with the realization that trust has been broken, not only by his wife but by those who should have stood by him unconditionally. The emotional weight of these revelations is heavy. He feels like a stranger in his own family, a man whose life has been dictated by secrets and lies. Despite the pain, this confrontation allows for a cathartic release. It clears the air between them and opens up pathways for deeper discussions about loyalty and love within families. As the night progresses, there are tears and apologies exchanged. Daniel's anger transforms into understanding as he realizes that everyone involved was navigating their own emotions during this chaotic time. In this moment of vulnerability, Daniel begins to see glimmers of hope for rebuilding relationships with his family, acknowledging that while betrayal has left scars, there is potential for healing if they can confront their past together. As Daniel continues to reconnect with his family, the tension that has simmered beneath the surface begins to boil over. During a family gathering at one of his restaurants, where laughter and the clinking of glasses fill the air, Daniel feels a growing urge to address the elephant in the room. The atmosphere is festive, yet he can't shake the feeling that unresolved issues linger just beneath the surface. Finally, he gathers his courage and stands up, raising his glass to get everyone's attention. "I want to thank you all for being here tonight," he begins, his voice steady but laced with emotion. "But I also need to talk about something that's been weighing on my heart for a long time." The room quiets as family members exchange curious glances. "I've been deeply hurt by what happened during my divorce," Daniel continues, his heart racing. "I understand that you thought you were protecting me by supporting Amy, but you were also betraying me. You chose silence when I needed your support the most." His words hang in the air, heavy with unspoken pain. Claire looks down, visibly shaken, while other family members shift uncomfortably in their seats. Daniel's mother finally speaks up, her voice trembling. "We didn't know how to help you," she admits. "We thought we were doing what was best for everyone. We didn't want to create more conflict." Daniel feels a mix of anger and sadness wash over him. "But by choosing not to tell me the truth, you allowed me to suffer in silence," he replies, his voice rising slightly. "I felt so alone during that time, like I was fighting a battle without any allies." As emotions run high, tears are shed and apologies are exchanged. The confrontation becomes cathartic as family members begin to share their own feelings of guilt and regret over their choices. They express how they struggled with their loyalties and how they too felt lost during that tumultuous period. In this moment of raw honesty, Daniel realizes that while their actions hurt him deeply, they were also navigating their own complexities. This shared vulnerability allows for a deeper understanding among them, a recognition that they are all flawed individuals trying to make sense of their relationships amidst chaos. By the end of the night, there is a palpable shift in the atmosphere. While wounds may never fully heal, there is hope for rebuilding trust and connection within the family. Daniel leaves feeling lighter, knowing that confronting these issues has opened pathways for healing. Amidst all this chaos comes another revelation. Daniel learns about Lily, age 20, the daughter born from Amy's affair with Mark, a child who has lived in shadows cast long ago without ever knowing her father existed until now. This news hits him hard, feelings swirl within him like storm clouds gathering overhead. Excitement clashes violently against fear. How does one reach out after so many years? What if she rejects him? What if she doesn't want anything to do with her biological father? These questions haunt him day after day until finally deciding enough is enough. It's time for action. Daniel spends sleepless nights contemplating how to approach this delicate situation. He researches Lily online, piecing together fragments of her life through social media profiles and public posts. Each photo he sees brings a mix of pride and sorrow. She looks so much like him, yet is a stranger who has lived a life separate from his own. With trembling hands but a resolute heart full of courage, fueled by love, wanting connection again after so much loss already endured throughout life thus far, Daniel crafts a heartfelt message on social media, a simple introduction expressing his desire to connect and learn about her life. As he hits send, a wave of anxiety washes over him. What if she never responds? What if she's angry or hurt? Days pass without any word from Lily, and doubt begins to creep in again. But just when he starts to lose hope, he receives a notification that sends his heart racing. Lily has seen his message. The wait for her response feels agonizingly long. Each passing hour stretches into eternity as Daniel imagines countless scenarios, some hopeful and others devastatingly painful. Finally, late one evening as he sits alone in his living room, his phone buzzes with an incoming message from Lily. "Hi," it reads simply. "I'm surprised to hear from you." Daniel's heart races as he types back cautiously, introducing himself again and explaining why he reached out. To his relief, Lily responds, positively, curiosity mixed with caution evident in her words as she shares snippets about her life, college studies, hobbies, and even her feelings about growing up without knowing her father. This initial exchange opens up a dialogue filled with questions and shared stories. Daniel learns about her passions and dreams while also revealing pieces of himself he had kept hidden away for so long. As they continue to communicate over the following weeks, Daniel feels an overwhelming sense of hope blossoming within him, a chance not only to connect with his daughter but also to heal from past wounds. The journey ahead will undoubtedly be complex. Building a relationship with Lily will require patience and understanding as they navigate their shared history fraught with pain and betrayal. Yet for the first time in years, Daniel feels excited about the future, a future where forgiveness can pave the way for new beginnings. After weeks of exchanging messages with Lily, Daniel feels a sense of urgency to take their relationship to the next level. The initial conversations have been enlightening, filled with laughter and shared interests, yet he knows that virtual communication can only go so far. He longs to meet her in person, to look into her eyes and truly connect. But as he contemplates this next step, a wave of anxiety washes over him. What if she doesn't feel the same way? What if she's not ready to meet him face to face? Daniel spends sleepless nights weighing his options. He recalls the pain and betrayal that marked his past, reminding himself of how fragile relationships can be. He worries about overwhelming Lily with too much too soon. After all, they are still getting to know each other. But the desire to be a part of her life, to be a father, grows stronger with each passing day. Finally, after much deliberation, Daniel decides to propose a casual meeting. He carefully crafts a message that expresses his feelings while respecting her comfort level. "I would love the chance to meet you in person if you're open to it. Maybe we could grab coffee or lunch? No pressure at all, I just think it would be great to connect face to face." As he hits send, his heart races with anticipation and fear. He knows that this moment could change everything, either solidifying their bond or creating distance between them. Days pass slowly as he waits for her response, each moment stretching into eternity, filled with uncertainty. Then, one afternoon, his phone buzzes with a notification that sends his heart soaring. Lily has replied. "I'd like that," she writes simply. "How about this weekend?" Daniel can hardly contain his excitement as he quickly agrees and suggests a cozy cafe in town, a place known for its warm atmosphere and delicious pastries. As the weekend approaches, he feels a mix of nervousness and hopefulness. This meeting could be the beginning of a new chapter in both their lives. When the day finally arrives, Daniel arrives early at the cafe, pacing nervously as he rehearses what he wants to say. He imagines all the possibilities. What if they hit it off? What if they have nothing in common? The questions swirl in his mind until finally he sees her walking through the door. Lily is even more beautiful than he imagined. Her smile lights up the room as she approaches him with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. They greet each other with an awkward hug, both feeling the weight of their shared history yet eager to forge something new together. As they sit down over steaming cups of coffee and pastries, Daniel feels an overwhelming sense of gratitude wash over him. This is a moment he thought might never come, a chance to connect with his daughter and build a relationship that had been lost for so long. As Daniel sits across from Lily in that cozy cafe, he feels a mix of emotions swirling within him: joy, nervousness, and an overwhelming sense of hope. Their conversation flows easily as they share stories about their lives. Daniel recounts tales from his restaurant journey, while Lily shares her dreams and aspirations for the future. Laughter fills the air as they bond over shared interests and experiences. It's as if years of separation melt away in those precious moments. Yet beneath the surface lies an acknowledgement of their complex past, a history marked by betrayal and hurt that neither can ignore completely. Daniel knows that rebuilding their relationship will take time and effort. There will be challenges ahead as they navigate their shared history fraught with pain and misunderstanding. But for the first time in years, he feels optimistic about what lies ahead. As their meeting comes to an end, Daniel looks into Lily's eyes, those familiar eyes that mirror his own, and sees not just a daughter but also a chance for redemption. He realizes that while betrayal has left scars on both their hearts, it has also opened doors for healing and connection. They exchange promises to stay in touch regularly and plan future outings together, a commitment to forge a bond that was lost but is now being rekindled. Walking away from the cafe, Daniel feels lighter than he has in years. This meeting marks not just a new chapter in his relationship with Lily, but also signifies his journey toward healing from past wounds. He understands now that forgiveness is not just about letting go of anger, but also about embracing love in all its forms. As he reflects on his journey from betrayal to redemption, Daniel realizes that life is filled with unexpected twists and turns. While pain is inevitable, so too is the possibility for growth and renewal. With renewed determination, he embraces the future with open arms, ready to build new memories with Lily while cherishing those who have stood by him through thick and thin. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story or found it relatable in any way, please remember to like this video, share your thoughts below, comment section, subscribe channel. Stay tuned, more inspiring tales coming soon. Your support means everything us.